Hello, YouTube. This is Lakia. Yes, I'm in the bed. I am actually really sick. Mm, I have the coronavirus. Really, really sick. I have a terribly, really bad migraine, and really weak, and I'm just not able to keep my head up. Um, it's definitely an experience. I've been exposed 3 times. As y'all know, I actually work in the hospital, and that's how I caught mine. Um, I actually caught it from a coworker. The biggest thing is, y'all, it is very important to cover your mouth. Um, this is not a joke. Like, it's very, depressing to be stuck in your house. I've been stuck in my house for a week. Um, the crazy thing was that when I got the call that I had been exposed, they actually wasn't going to test me because I didn't have a fever. But I had to make it clear that I wasn't feeling good. I'm like, I'm not able to keep my head up. I'm like, my head is killing me, and I'm not able to keep my head up. And I'm like, and I'm aching. So that weekend I had went to go get my puppy. I left on a Saturday. Um, because I told my mom, I was like, I'm not feeling good. I've already been exposed, so I don't want to be around that much. Because my mom had my dog because my friend dropped, dropped my dog off at my parents. Because where I got my dog from, it was closer for them to drop it off at my mom and dad's because I'm in a different state. Um, I was just like, I'll come get her because my parents already had her like 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. So like they had my old dog because they wouldn't give her back because my parents had fell in love with her, and I was like, well, I want a dog for me. So when I got there to my parents lived like 4 hours from me, and I just couldn't keep my head up. So I got there, I slept most of the time, and then I got there in the evening, and then I left like the next morning because I'm like, and then like I almost fell asleep on the road because like I I just wasn't feeling good. Like I actually felt like I was in and out of conscious. That's what it felt like. Um, Even when I got back, I went like straight to bed. That next day at work is when I found out I had been exposed by my coworker. Um, she had been sick, but we didn't know that she was positive. And when employee health had called me, I was like, I had told them that I wasn't feeling good, and I wasn't able to keep my head up. And asked me if I had a cough. I'm like, well, off and on, but it's not, bad. And they asked me if I had a fever. I'm like, no. But let me pause my TV. Um, I'm like, no. But I'm like, y'all understand, like, something's really wrong. Like, I know my body. Like, I have health issues, but it's something wrong with me that I'm not able to keep my head up. Like, I went into work late, um, because I wasn't able to get up. Like, I had no energy to get up out of bed. I'm like, I'm just gonna have to go in late. Um, so the only thing they said was keep a mask on and keep track of your fever. Um, So then they actually called back. It was like 10 minutes later, employee health called back and was like, we need you to leave work immediately and keep your mask on. And we're going to call you back in a little while. So they called me back and told me they was going to get me tested. I'm like, well, thank you, Jesus. They was like, we're going to send you to get tested the next day. And we'll send everything to your email. It's going to tell you what to do. I'm like, okay. So they send me to this test site to get tested. And it's not at my hospital, I guess, because they didn't want to freak everybody out if I had it. Or that I was going to, getting tested. So I'm like, all right. So they sent me to get tested, and I had a stat order, so I actually got it back the next day. And, like, the next day, I wasn't able to, like, I was just tired. Like, my phone was ringing off the hook. And I'm like, who keeps calling me? Because I wasn't expecting it to come back the next day. And I finally, like, turn over and I pick up my phone, and I see my doctor's name on my phone. I'm like, why is she calling? Like, that's really weird. And I pick up, and I'm like, hello. She's like, Lakia. So that's exactly how she says, Lakia, what is going on? Well, like, what made you go get tested? And I told her, I'm like, I've been exposed, and I'm just not feeling good. She asked me what kind of symptoms I'm having. I'm like, I have a real bad headache, and I'm really weak. Like, I'm like, I just can't keep my head up. And, she was like, well, you're positive. And I think my heart just stopped. And I'm like, positive. She's like, yes. I need to know exactly what you're feeling. I'm like, that's it. She's like, have you had a fever? Excuse me. I have a puppy that is in everything. Stop it. Stop. Asked me if I have had a fever. I'm like, no. But I'm like, I'm not able to keep my head up. So as y'all know, I have really bad respiratory problems where I had aspirated pneumonia. So, and then I have asthma too. So I have like really bad respiratory problems. So that was the first thing she said, you listen to me good. She was just like, the first time you have a hard time, stop it. Kobe, stop. Stop. If you have a hard time breathing or feel like you cannot breathe, you have to go to the emergency room. So I'm like, oh gosh. Like, I haven't felt good, and I've been calm the whole time with this. Now, I feel like I might get nervous. Kobe. My dog. She is 12 weeks. 13 weeks, and she's just... It's hard with a puppy and you're sick and just have no energy. Like, if I knew I was going to have this, I would have left there at my mom and dad's. Kobe. Sit down. Go sit down. But anyway, so, that night, I actually couldn't breathe. I took a shower and stuff, and I'm like, oh, I'm really not feeling good. I mean, my head's been hurting for like a week anyway. So I'm like, well, maybe I need to go. I felt like my heart was like just racing. By this time, I'm panicking. I'm like, oh my God. Like, I really can't breathe. Do I need to go to the ER? Because my biggest thing is, I don't feel good. Yes, I have it. But this is not how I want to go out. Sorry, I'm trying to cry. Um, this is scary. Like, I haven't been able to get up, so I feel like I'm gonna pass out. Um, and then like the bad thing is like you really have to be by yourself because this is dangerous. Like you gotta be like I'm like literally gotta be by myself. Like even if I had somebody living with me, they couldn't have been here. I don't think they could have been here. Like when I found out I had to call my parents and like they had to keep track of the symptoms even though I wasn't there that long. Um so yeah, it's really sad. I've been in the house since Monday. I haven't really been at the bed. I don't want to infect anything else in my house, so I haven't really been on the couch. Um, like my head, like it's worse than a migraine. Like you even feel like you got a fever, but you don't have one. Like it's really weird. Like I feel like I have the flu, but it's worse than the flu. Like last night, I actually had the sweats for the first time. My throat is actually just started hurting. Um, yeah. I've been making sure I keep take a shower every night though, because I have this. I really haven't been eating anything or drinking. One of my coworkers actually brought me Gatorade and stuff and sent it by my door, so that's sweet. My coworkers actually have been checking on me a lot, which I appreciate because I haven't told a lot of people that I've had it, well, that I have it, because I don't think it's meant for everybody to know. I told my close friends that I've had it, and they've actually checked on me every day, which I appreciate. So that's how you know you got good friends. That they check on you every day. Um, Especially when you're trying to stay strong and not think about it. Like my mom says me stuff all the time about the coronavirus and stuff, and I had to tell her last night. I'm like, stop sending me stuff. I think I might have hurt her feelings, but I'm like, I have it. Like I don't want to know anything else about it. And she was just like, she was just trying to help, and I was like, go sit down. Um, she was just trying to help, which I mean, I understand you're trying to help, but when somebody has it, no, nobody wants to hear about it all the time. And that's just me. And that's what I was trying to explain to her. Like, I have it. I don't want to hear about it. Um, and actually, I have one of my older coworkers, which she's like a mom to me. She doesn't have it, but her husband called it, and he actually passed away yesterday. And that was really hard. Um, oh my gosh, that just broke my heart. Um, he's been in isolation at the hospital, ICU, and he passed away from me yesterday. And like the hospitals up here they've been on lockdown, so there's no visitors at all. And if you have it, definitely no visitors. Um, so she wasn't able to see him the whole time he was in there. He went from being transferred down there to kidney shutting down to being ventilated to dying. So that was just horrible. I haven't been able to call because I'm like, first of all, that's really sad. They've been together 50 years. They did everything together. And then I'm like, I'm positive, so that's sad. And I'm like, people are not taking this serious about staying home or having symptoms. And I'm like, it's serious. Like, I wouldn't even got tested because I wasn't running a fever. And so now they're taking it serious too. Like, even though you're not having a fever, you still have symptoms. My primary care has called me every day to check on me and ask me about my symptoms. And that's a damn good doctor. She's got a hold of my pulmonary doctor, so he knows I have it. Sorry, I'm trying to keep. So that's been my experience. It's just been a rough time with all this and trying to keep it together. When I had to go to the ER to make sure I was alright, my heart rate rose up, my blood pressure sky high. They gave me just a tore it off of the head. They didn't phase it. You absolutely cannot take ibuprofen with this, which I didn't know, so I had to quit taking it. So nothing's really helped. So you pretty much just dealing with pain because they don't really give you nothing to take for this. But yeah, when I went, it's a whole different story when you see it from the other side. Like, you know, working and having people coming in with it, you're like, oh my god, let me glove up. And then when you walk in, you're like, am I feeling good? And then they ask you the questions, like, yeah, I'm positive. And everybody's like, so they get you back there and they gown up, and then, it makes you giggle because you're like, everybody acts like you have a disease. You're like, it is what it is at this point. But, the nurses, I give it to the nurses. They do a damn good job with people with coronaviruses. Because honestly, I don't know if I would be able to do it. Like, I don't even know if I would feel comfortable or safe going back to work after this. Like, horrible. But I just wanted to let y'all know how everything was going about catching this coronavirus. The biggest thing is keep your hands clean. Don't be out running nobody. And that is serious. That's exactly how I called mine, was because people coughing, not covering your mouth, not keeping your hands washed. We all know how my other coworker's husband called it because she didn't have it. Because actually, when it started getting bad at the hospital, when it actually started getting big here, she actually left work and hasn't been back since because, she was older. And me and her actually had, started getting the scares before everybody else. So she was like, I'm too old to be, around all this. So she didn't, she was like, no, I'm going to take a leave because she's PRN. So she didn't have to, be there. So they said they wouldn't by the other day and stood outside. She came outside to talk to everybody, and they was gonna FaceTime me, but they said it was just too sad to FaceTime anybody. Man, I was just like, I can't call. Like, it's just too sad for me. And then I'm positive, so I couldn't do it. And I was real close with him. So, I just wanted to do a radio update. I'm going on my week tomorrow since I've been home. I probably won't be able to go back to work till like in May, which is sad because my family reunion is coming up in May, and I won't be able to go because I won't be able to be around nobody. I haven't went insane yet being home, but it just sucks though because you don't feel good and then nobody can be around. And then if anybody brings you anything, they have to sit at the doors. It's it sucks. And then you have to rely on people to bring you stuff if you can't do it. So I have to be retested before I can go back to work. It has to be negative. I have to be, first of all, you have to be quarantined for 14 days at least. And then I have to be 3 days 3 days straight. And I have to be retested before I can go back to work. But the way my body is acting, I ain't gonna make it. And I got a rash. So I'm just like, I can't catch a break. But I gotta lay back down all the way. Y'all have a blessed Sunday and enjoy. Toodles.